And the title of this mini podcast is Frustration's Secret Formula. Eureka! I found it. The secret formula for frustration. Yep, the tried and true works every time method for getting yourself good and frustrated. Ready? Here it is. Pretend things shouldn't be the way they are. That's it. Simple, right? Anytime you want to guarantee frustration, just start believing life isn't supposed to be this way. Here's a hard and fast fact. There's almost always a gap between how things are and how we think they ought to be. The gap isn't the problem. It's how we handle it that decides how frustrated we get. Now here's the twist. The more we stare at the size of that gap, the more frustration we brew. But when we recognize the divide and start working on a small, doable plan to close it, that's when things start to shift. Think back to a time when you were really frustrated, for days, maybe even weeks. If you replay that scene, you probably notice your mind was obsessed with what shouldn't be happening instead of what actually was. And your vocabulary probably gave you away. Words like should, shouldn't, must, have to, and ought to, those are frustration magnets. Here's a trick that helps. Give your situation a number, 1 to 10, 1 being awful, and 10 being amazing. Let's say you're sitting at a 5 and you want to be a 10 by Tuesday. Boom! Instant frustration. That jump's too big. Instead, figure out how to get from a 5 to a 6. That's manageable. Once you hit a 6, go for 7. That's how you move forward, one step at a time, without all the drama. But before you even start that plan, here comes the tough part, and it's not easy to hear. You are the cause of your frustration. Not your parents, not your boss, not your partner, not your job. It's you, pretending things shouldn't be the way they are. The longer you hold on to that belief, the longer you'll stay stuck. Action, real step-by-step action, is frustration's biggest enemy. It beats it every time. So if you're frustrated about your relationship, your work, your life, stop looking at where you ought to be. Look at where you are. Then take one solid step in the right direction. Because here's my unofficial observation. Most people won't take that step. Most people stay parked in Never Never Land, where should and ought to run the show. They grumble, complain, piss and moan, and invite frustration to move in permanently. Got frustration? It's time to get real. All the best, John.